The Cincinnati Observatory is this really unique place. We have these two gigantic old telescopes. The one that's behind me is 112 years old, and that's the newer one. The older ones in the other building, it's over 170 years old. And we use these telescopes pretty much every day. During the daytime, we can safely look at the sun and see sunspots and solar flares. And then at nighttime, we can look at the stars, the moon, and the planets. When you turn the corner and come down the street, it is really kind of weird. You see these two buildings with the silver domes on the top of it. They look like they're from a different era. And that's because, well, they were. These telescopes go back really, really far. In fact, the telescope in the other building is one of the oldest ones in the world, and it was the first major observatory in the country. So we have like the historic telescope of the United States. So this is our newer telescope. This was made in 1904 in Massachusetts, and it has a lens that's 16 inches across at the top. The tube's 22 feet long and is pretty easy to move. So I can move this with one finger. And this is how we aim it up in the sky. So you can move it back and forth. I can move it towards you and almost hit the camera. Watch out, here it comes. And so you can point this up at anything you want in the sky. And then you put your eye, and this is where you look. You put an eyepiece in here and that magnifies your image. The objects that we like to look at, the moon first off, you can see all these craters on the moon, and you can see these features, these mountains on the moon that are really amazing. And then we get to planets, and the planets are so far away. You know, we go from the moon, which is 240,000 miles away, to planets which are hundreds of millions of miles away. And then we get to stars after that, which are trillions of miles away. And so we can see all this light coming through the telescope right to your eyes. We're open pretty much every Thursday and Friday throughout the year. You just give a call ahead of time, or you can reserve online. And there's about 40 people in each group. And if it's a clear night, you get to look through the telescope. Everybody gets to take their turn putting their eye up to the telescope. During the summer months, this summer we have Jupiter and Mars and Saturn to see, and Saturn is just awesome. You can see the rings around it, you can see moons, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of history to the buildings, a lot of history to the telescopes, and so we're a National Historic Landmark, which means people come from all around the country just to see this because it's such a very unique place. I've been to other observatories and none of them have telescopes as old as ours. And it's just this kind of park-like setting. When you drive up here, you can bring a picnic and camp and picnic out there on the lawn and watch the sun, watch the moon, and it's a really cool place to come.